we're the Haunt. I'm Anastasia.
I'm Max, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
One, two, three, four. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
Hi.
Good to see you again. I chatted with you, I don't know, a year or two back, I think.
Oh, awesome. How are you? How's everything been?
I am well. How about yourself?
Good. Been chaos, but
Where are you located geographically?
right now, we're home in Florida right now.
Oh, okay. What part of Florida?
We are in it's Boca Raton, but it's like Fort Lauderdale. I don't know if you know Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. I lived in St. Pete for a long time, 12
Okay,
years
awesome.
or 15 years.
Awesome, yeah.
I miss that nice heat and the summer.
Yeah. It's certainly hot right now.
It's hot everywhere, though. I'm in Richmond, and it's, I don't know, going to be 103 today or something. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's great. Look at this. Hold on. What's going on? Yeah, Anna will be here in 1 second. So I don't know if you're on a time crunch. We could either.
I think we have like 30 minutes or something, so we're good.
Okay, perfect.
No worries at all. You getting ready for the tour?
Yeah. We just got back from Europe, and we've had a couple weeks. This is our second week back now. And then we're just prepping everything because we're going to Canada in a couple weeks, and then
Right.
when we get back, we go to Mexico, and then the whole fall we're doing the US. So
Are you finding it difficult to tour overseas or out of the country right now with everything that's going on, or is it fairly
it
straightforward?
honestly hasn't been very different, if I'm being honest. It's been
Okay.
kind of, we did it last year, and it was pretty much the same experience for us. We didn't have any issues at the borders or anything like that.
I was wondering if it was getting. I know a lot of bands I talk to and a lot of festival promoters are having trouble getting their bands in from overseas.
Yes.
And the fans.
Back in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I could see that being an issue, especially if not everyone in the band is born in the US or something like that. For us,
Right.
it's been an issue, but I know that it could be.
Right.
We were kind of not sure what to expect.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Sorry I'm late.
Good to see you. No problem at all. We were just talking about the European tour and Canada, and then you said Mexico.
Yes, we're so excited.
Have you been there before?
To Mexico?
Yeah.
No. I think we were maybe when we were younger on a cruise one
On a
time.
cruise, but that was-
never.
Oh yeah. I've heard and I've seen videos and stuff. Mexico or Latin American fans are like rabid for live music and heavier
That's what we
stuff.
were told.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that looks like it'd be a blast.
Yeah, it looks like we're probably expanding that to. We had one date, and it looks like we're probably expanding it to 2 more. So it's gonna be like a whole
Oh, in
weekend. Out.
Mexico.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That'll be great. So let's talk about the band then. The new single "Dead to Me." How's that been doing? Has that been doing fairly well?
Yeah, we're really happy with how everyone's kind of been receiving it. We had when we put it out, when we wrote it and produced it and all that and came together in the studio, we knew that we really, really liked it. We were super excited about it.
Yeah, it's always been
A top one for
top.
us.
Yeah.
And so, and it is in tone, it's a little bit poppier, a little bit more fun than some of the other stuff on the record.
Yeah, I think that's why I like it so much because it feels very different from the rest of the album, at least to me. Which we love the heavy shit, but it's nice to have a little pop punk album.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's kind of not the main thing that we do, but it's really fun to just have something like that in the mix. And then live, when we just went to Europe and played it for our fans for the first time, it was really, really cool because everybody knew the words. I guess we don't have as many songs that are kind of anthemic sing-alongy like that.
Right.
And it was a really cool moment to kind of just hear everybody singing it
Right.
live in the
Yeah.
room with us, and that's kind of been this whole experience for headlining for the first time. For us, which is so cool, is we're so used to opening for other acts when we go on tour that when we go out in front of an audience, we're trying to put on this show and impress them like we always are, and do the most that we can to bring the energy and all that stuff. But these audiences respond in such a different way, and they're singing along with us as opposed to just watching the show and dancing.
Yeah.
It's they know the words and they're singing with us. And Dead to Me was definitely a standout that I feel like they everybody's really been having a good time with live.
When you were writing that and deciding to put it on the record, was there any concern that it might be too different from what you've done in the past?
I don't think.
No.
I think it's still like we've done it before, but I think this really like hit it where we wanted to. Like I feel like it's most similar to maybe like I Love You Better.
Yeah, a little like hell,
Little
maybe.
Like Hell, yeah,
Yeah.
Little Like Hell, maybe more.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've like teetered on that before, but I think this was just like a full send while also keeping
I think the only major
our
difference that kind of kept us like out of it too was like there was an acoustic guitar in it, which I know sounds silly, but like none of our other music, even our ballads, don't have acoustic guitar. And so it was like, are we going to do that? Are we going to switch it to electric? We even tried to play it on electric guitar for the live show, and it didn't work. And it was like, this needs to be this. And so I'm really happy with how it kind of just all came together. And no, when we were writing it, we didn't think it didn't fit. We knew it was the poppiest song on the record, but that's not like a bad thing. We've
honestly,
never
at the
been-
time it wasn't even because some stuff got cut, so it wasn't even the poppiest
That's true.
that
Yeah.
we had. So at the time, it might have been not like that different
Yeah.
for us.
Now looking back at it, it's certainly the most poppy song on the record, but it's not
For sure.
to the point where it's like doesn't feel like us or anything.
Yeah,
like
because
that.
lyrically, I feel like it's the same
Yeah.
pattern.
And even though we got heavier on this most recent album, the one before it, which wasn't an album, it was 2 EPs, you know, had some songs that I would say are even poppier than this one. So this was kind of, it's heavy for this record, but it's not, I mean, it's poppy for this record, but it's not poppy for us in general, I would say.
So when you're sequencing a record, which I think is or an EP, I think that's sort of a lost art, right? You kind of have to create this journey, or right from beginning to end. How did that song fit in then? Was it difficult saying, "Hey, this is the time for a break of some sort"? Does that make sense? Because the whole thing is a journey to put it together, right?
Yeah, no, and you know, with the way that we release our records, which is a release schedule where we put things out like once every 2 months or so, we kind of are really keen in on like the sequence of how things come out because you don't want to like you know, of course every band does a couple different things, but I do think that we are like a band that definitely covers a bit of a wider genre pool than some other bands in the genre. And that's something that we love to do and we're never going to stop doing. And so we kind of have to be careful not to like, oh, this was too many songs with screaming in it in a row to like kind of pushed away the fans that like a little bit more alternative. And then the same vice versa. You know, we didn't want to put two songs that have like too much pop influence right next to each other.
Back to back, right?
Yeah. And, you know, things kind of change as you're going, like our feature with Modson that we just put out after Dead to Me, that, you know, that kind of came together at the last minute. And so that kind of changed the trajectory of like how the album was going to come out after that. And so, but that's not really like, you know, yeah, we always try to make sure that we're giving kind of breaking it up in a specific way. That's kind of, and you kind of want the story to tell itself. There was definitely a specific song that we wanted to leave for last that we felt like was the culmination of the record. And we knew we wanted to start with New Addiction. And so it kind of just takes shape that way. You figure out what you want to do in between those things and not oversaturate one part of the sound.
Right.
You know?
Okay. All right. So now I'm going to dig a little deeper. I put together some deeper question as we go, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Well, actually, let's start with this one first. How did working with producer Kevin Thrasher, known for his work with Blink 182 and Jelly Roll, challenge you to break your creative boundaries?
Kevin is awesome. We've worked with him a little bit on the last record and even a little bit before that. But it was more like single here. We would go out to LA and we're friends and we love working with him. And so it was a little bit of like a song here, a song there. And that's just what we did. But we really liked the stuff that we made with him on the last record. And we were like, I think this is a time to kind of commit. We kind of felt like on the last record, I produced the majority of the record, and then Kevin did a couple of songs, and we did a couple of songs with the Stereotypes. And it kind of felt like there was a lot of influences, and we were trying to do a lot of things. We knew what we wanted the general sound of the record to be, but it was like, how do we how do we hone in and make one thing and make a record that just consistently hits people with the same general sound over and over again to help build like a real fan base that could connect with the lyrics and melodies that we're trying to convey. So from the production standpoint, we knew that we wanted to work with one producer, and it was clear to us that that was going to be Kevin. And so we were like, we kind of did it in two separate sections. There was like the A part of the record, which was made earlier, and then there was the B part of the record, which was made later. But when we released them, we kind of mixed it up. And honestly, our headspace was kind of the same. They weren't too far apart, so it doesn't feel like two distinct records. It's clearly one record. And it was a really hard time for us when we were trying to write the record. We had a lot we wanted to say, and we had a lot we wanted to get pen to paper on and write about. And Kevin was really good at helping us kind of consolidate those ideas into, we had our melodies, we had our lyrics. In some cases, we had full songs that we just wanted to have him produce and build up. And it was like, he was great at helping us kind of, he knows how to make a great song. So he was helping us hone in on like, this is the part of the song that should, help repeat here and this and that. And, he was a really great influence on the record in consolidating all of our ideas because we like to do a lot of things. And he was very much so like these, this doesn't fit here or this or that. And really just like, he's a great influence. He's a great person. And we love working with him. We were in studios with him. We were in his house with his kids. It was like, it's always fun being around him. He's just such a cool guy and just a great person to work with.
Fair enough. So, New Addiction, definitely emotional, definitely tackles heavy subjects. If you could design a haunted house inspired by the emotional themes of New Addiction, what rooms or experiences would fans encounter inside? I
personally think it would be like an escape room.
Yeah, this is a haunted house, so it should be like genuinely scary. Okay. Yeah. I don't
know exactly. I'd have to think about it for a second, but I definitely think it would be like an escape room. That's kind of what
the album.
Yes.
Okay, got it. We have a hallway of how would you describe this type of person? We have a hallway of narcissists lining the walls, thousands of them in one room. That's like the hallway that you walk in, I think, initially. You go next, first room.
Passing the buck.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go. The second room you walk in, your ex-boyfriends are standing in there. In the second room. I think third room would probably be all the bitches that have wronged you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Keep going, you're cooking.
I think you have to throw some random straight men in there too. Just for the sake of it. Just some scary, like, nothing against straight men, but just some like real, like,
just
men.
Some dudes.
Just some dudes. I think, yeah. At least, yeah, that would be scary to me.
Right. Fair the man.
Yeah.
Conversation. Right.
Come on, I'm cooking. Anything?
I listen.
There's blood dripping down the walls.
Nice.
There's
on the narcissists?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's spiders like crawling in them and all over. Something?
I don't know. I feel like you really got this.
I think it's great. And then there's some escape though, right?
Yeah. So I would say maybe towards the end, you're locked in and you got to break out. Because that's kind of what this felt like for us. This was like, what are we going to do? We're cooked. And we really have to like, there was moments where we struggled with like, what are we going to do? Not to get like real though, issues. But I feel like,
this is the balance.
Yeah. I feel like there was definitely moments where we struggled and we were like, what do we kind of do now? But we never stopped. It was always just like, we're going to just go forward. And that's kind of what it is. It's almost like, here's what it should be: complete darkness at the end, right? And you just are walking forward and you're hoping you're not running into a fucking wall. You're just walking straight forward through the dark.
That's how you get out?
Eventually you get out.
Try.
We're just, you're shot in the dark.
Okay.
That's it.
So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, there's an escape door.
There's an escape door. You can get out. You just can't see it.
Okay, so we're actually waiting for you. We're waiting for you at the end, and we're playing New Addiction.
At the end of the hall.
Yeah.
This is like
once you get out,
There's the next video. Hey, hold on a second. If this becomes your video, I get a cut of it. It was
sure.
I inspired it.
I think that's good. I think we are the end of the tunnel.
That's it. The scariest thing yet.
No, the light at the end of
Only
the
escape. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get a free rock show if you can survive all the narcissists
Yeah.
And you can,
and the straight men.
and I think music is cathartic as well, right? So if you're at the end, then it's, you're the catharsis, or your
Right.
music is the catharsis.
Exactly.
I think that really sums it up.
Okay. Given your sibling dynamic at the core of the haunt, what's the disagreement you've had in the studio that ultimately made a song or performance stronger?
I don't know.
I'm thinking. Give me a sec. Song or performance stronger?
I can't think of one in particular, but when I write songs, I'll write like 5 verses,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not really widely accepted.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm definitely always.
Oh.
She's also always switching time signatures,
Right,
and we
right.
do some of that, but we don't do it as often as she.
We only
would
do
like
some
us
of
to.
that because
And that's a compromise.
I've really forced it.
It's a compromise. I also think there's a lot of times in the studio where she's like, "I'm not singing that high. I can't sing that high," and I'm like, "You can, and you should try it," and then it makes the record. And
Yeah.
then she's upset later on because now she has to
Have to
sing it live.
Yeah, that's happened.
But it sounds good.
That happened actually with New Addiction, the title track.
Yeah.
Does
We
she
actually
ever say you were right?
What's that?
Does she ever say you were right?
I mean, it definitely sounds good
it
on the
sounds
record. She
good, but
knows
then
it, right?
when we go to play it live for New Addiction, we had to tune it down. Now I sing it the original way because I've just like conditioned my voice to be able
Yeah.
to do it, but
Right.
it took
There was a
some
bit,
time.
we had to work up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Bye
if
for
you
me
could
too.
choose, I know you played Europe, you're going to Mexico, Canada. If you could choose any unconventional location outside of traditional venues to perform this album live, where would it be, and why would that setting amplify the album's message?
Did you say country or like a
Just a
just
cool
place? Oh, just cool.
An unconventional location. It doesn't have to be
Okay,
a country. I guess in this you could make up a fantasy world out of
Just side story. Last year, we were added last minute to play Rock for People in the Czech Republic, but it wasn't like a stage. It was like a truck. We played like on the back of a truck at the campground. It was like
it was like where they camp out before they go into the festival.
Yeah.
Well, it was in the festival, like where the campgrounds are.
Yeah.
It was literally like a truck that like folds into a stage.
Is that
Not
your
like one of the
dream
ones that we have in the
place?
US where it's like a real stage. It was like
Yeah, the way you see it like at the fairs and stuff. The county
that's
fairs.
a nice one. It wasn't like that.
No, it wasn't
Oh.
like that. We played a truck better too.
Yeah. We're from Florida, so we have played a truck better too. But this
Right.
wasn't like that. This was like something else. And that was just an interesting side
Are you
story.
just saying that?
I am just
Oh,
saying
okay.
that.
So
Trying to think like what would connect it to the music. I mean, I feel like some form of like Halloween Horror Nights or like a dark haunted event would be a cool way to do it. Somewhere where like people are in costume,
right.
and vibing.
I was thinking more like a medieval like castle
Oh, that's fire.
or like
What about at the end of the haunted house?
A haunted house.
Can I tie
The end
it
of
back
the
into
tunnel.
that haunted house? Yeah, the end of the haunted house.
Exactly. Yeah. That's where we'll be.
What's the Nosferatu's castle kind of fits that vibe,
Oh yeah. Where is he? Romania?
Transylvania.
Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
So we'd be playing
I
somewhere
would love, sorry, side thing has nothing to do with the band. I would love to go to Transylvania. and
Yeah.
see
I
Dracula.
feel like I have to be so real with you. Like, I don't know where that is on the map.
It's northeastern
Eastern
Europe.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, like Lithuania, up that way.
I thought it was
somewhere.
Romania.
Romania, yeah, somewhere over there. Bulgaria,
Okay,
somewhere.
then yes, I would like to go there.
I thought that's where he resides. I don't know.
Yeah, I just want to see it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's got to be cool. The castles and stuff.
Definitely.
And I've heard they did some show there a couple years ago, like some festival on the steps of it, which probably would have been so off the chain.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's really cool.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's get off the haunt. Well, anyway, what's next for you guys? I know you said you're going on the road. Did I miss anything you want to cover? Because we got like 10 minutes and I got some ridiculous questions to ask you.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, we're going on the road. Yeah,
How can we find
you can find us at We Are the Haunt on everything. Our website where we're selling our tickets for our tour is thehauntband.com.
Instagram, we are the haunt.
Instagram at We Are the Haunt, YouTube The Haunt, and yeah, we pre-order for our full-length record is going up at some point this week. So
Okay. And that's July 25th, right?
the album comes out July 25th, New Addiction. Get your copy, save it, pre-save it, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
then that's us on tour.
We got a couple minutes left. You got a sense of humor? I think you
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Ridiculous questions, but they do really well for shorts and things. So my team loves to put these together. So you ready? We'll just start easy. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
It has to be. Hold on. Sorry. What's your thought?
So quick.
I've thought about this a lot.
Oh,
I would say it's a taco.
It's a taco.
wait, but why not a sandwich?
Because a sandwich is bread on two sides.
Yeah. No, we're holding it like this.
Wait. Your hang up is the little thing that's holding it together?
Yeah, it's a peninsula of bread, and it's
So is a sub a taco?
sub.
No, so it's so a sandwich. That is like this.
Well, but it's connected. So come on, that's the same shit.
But that's only laziness that they do that. That's it should be
Separated.
Yeah. When you get a pub sub at Publix, it's separated.
Publix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jimmy, Jersey Mike's, he separates.
You're right. That is laziness.
Mike separates the sandwich.
okay. Mike, your first name basis with Jersey Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is cereal a soup?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be, right?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say
you redeemed yourselves.
Yeah.
What were we going to say? Sorry, it has to be, right?
No,
It does. Yeah,
definitely
it is.
soup.
It is. It's unfortunate, but it is.
What
Yes.
3 things could you purchase at the cashier? I mean, could you purchase at the store that would make the cashier the most uncomfortable? Sorry, if you want to skip these and they're not your style, I can move on.
I'm just trying to dial in like what store we're at.
I guess it doesn't really matter, right?
No.
If you're at like a
Publix.
Home Depot,
You're at
you could
Publix.
definitely make somebody uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You could get like rope and like
Honestly, one of my hobbies is going to like Lowe's and Home Depot and making people uncomfortable. But I don't buy
Really?
anything. But I just love.
she loves Home Depot.
Yeah. What is that? What kind of store is that? Hardware
Hardware.
stores. Love
Yeah.
them.
And how do you make people uncomfortable?
Yes. I'll just like be smelling the wood and the paint and just like
Oh.
haunting the store.
Not like huffing the paint though. Like I feel like you always have to clarify what you mean when you say you're smelling the paint.
Oh, yeah. I'm not huffing it. Just a
And then you
little.
get really creative and go home and write some new songs.
Yeah, exactly. Anna's doing whippets at the Home Depot.
Okay. No.
I don't really know what you could buy at the store to make other people uncomfortable. I know the things that are uncomfortable to buy at the store, but
I mean,
buy, like,
a lot
ointment.
of chain, maybe. If we're at Home Depot, maybe too much chain. Like it's concerning.
Yeah, tape,
A lot of duct tape.
duct tape,
Okay, like maybe a combo. Like
and an axe.
if you buy it together, yeah. Axe, chain, duct tape.
When we
garbage
filmed
bag.
the Blood Red Heart video, I made the cashier very uncomfortable. I bought the most amount of plastic wrap that you could possibly buy. Like this literally
For the Dexter
for the
video.
Dexter referenced video. And it was like all plastic wrap. I bought I was buying like
Corn
cutters, corn syrup,
Oh,
duct
so
tape.
you did this already. You acted
Yeah.
like you never
Yeah.
heard this question before. You did it.
I forgot
there
that
we
I
go.
did that. And an axe. Yeah, that was not yeah. I was put on a list. Probably on a list after that.
But we've also like had to get like body part, not real body parts, but like hearts and stuff for like videos. So,
I've called so many stores and been like, "Do you guys carry hearts, like actual hearts,
like a real,
like butcher shops and stuff?" And they don't.
yeah, we were
Yeah.
gonna use a real. I forgot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are we okay with these?
Are
Are you
The
okay
questions?
with these questions? Yeah.
oh yeah,
yeah.
What mythical creature, if it existed, could save us in the time we're in?
Pegasus,
What would it do to save us?
fly, cunt, serve cunt, and fly. That's all.
I feel like maybe some kind of like wish granting mythical creature, like Shenron, or like
Oh, like a wizard.
well, that's Shenron's like a dragon but he like grants wishes.
Oh, okay.
and we could wish for the world to be better. You know what I mean?
Can we both have, you should do that. I'll do Pegasus so that they can work together.
I mean, you're a
yours will
team,
be
so
for
might as well, yeah.
yours will be
I
there
think
for
you're
like
Wizard.
the vibe. I mean, it could just be a wizard.
Yeah,
I
you
guess.
should get like you should get Dumbledore.
Rest in peace.
For real. I just watched that one. I rewatched that one. You should get Dumbledore in the mix.
Mhm.
You should fly the Pegasus. Save that. He could do wonders.
He probably could.
Yeah.
Really, when you think about it, the Wizards didn't do enough
Hmm.
to help
But they
people.
could have, right?
They could have, and they
Yeah,
chose
yeah.
not to,
They
which
had, like,
is
restraint, I think. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, because they were always muggle this, muggle that.
yeah. They're
Yeah.
kind of racist.
Kind of. Yeah, they are.
I bet you never thought you'd talk about any of this on a podcast. But
No, you're right.
No.
You're right.
so lastly, then, if you're stranded on a deserted island, then you could take 3 records for eternity, assuming there's some sort of solar or whatever. What do you got?
I have Elephant by the White Stripes. Do we both get 3, or are we combining for
Sure.
3?
All right, there's no rules. It's your rules. Sure.
Okay, I got Elephant by the White Stripes. I have The Downward Spiral by Nine Inch Nails. And then I need like a classic. I need like um I'm just trying to think of what Beatles record.
Oh, has to be Rubber Soul.
I like the I don't know, it might be Magical Mystery Tour.
Amazing still, but Rubber
Yeah.
Soul, man, holy cow.
I know. I mean, they're all good. I feel like, yeah, for me, it's probably Magical Mystery Tour. That was like the one that was like my Beatles introduction record. So if
Right.
I'm stranded and I want to feel good, I feel like I need that.
Okay. What do you got?
Okay. Back to Black. Amy Winehouse.
Oh, okay.
Rumors. Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
And Billie Holiday. Billie Holiday.
Interesting. Nothing heavy, huh?
No, I'm trying to vibe. If I'm on an island,
There's anxiety.
yeah, I'm really tense. My nervous system. I'm already alone, I think. So
Yeah.
So I know you didn't ask, but for me, Diary of a Madman for sure. I mean, that's the one that got my whole wheels moving into any sort of heavier stuff outside of whatever my parents listened to. So
yeah.
definitely, for the chill vibe, I'm going to have to do I'm going to cheat and do a greatest hits of Marley.
oh
Okay.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
a good,
Flight of an Island.
good island vibe.
Yeah, yeah. And then I don't know, somewhere in the middle, maybe Operation Mindcrime. That record is unbelievable, top to bottom.
Who is that?
Queensryche, like I don't
Okay.
know, 30 years ago, maybe now.
I know, right.
It's old.
Yeah.
Really, really. If you haven't listened to it, it's
I have to check that out. Yeah.
It's their first concept album. They did, I think, 3 others or 2 others after that. Don't even mess with any of those. That first one, Operation
That's the
Mindcrime.
one. Okay.
Listen to it straight through with headphones.
Okay. Yeah. Hell
There
yeah.
we go.
It's a whole
Homework.
vibe. You said vibe. It's a whole. Yeah, you got homework. It's a whole vibe, and
Awesome.
Sick.
it's not. It's Queensryche. It's rock, progressive.
Yeah.
rock.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. We're on it.
But those would be mine.
Yeah, we loaded into a venue and it was like one of the worst load-in days on this last tour, and we were like loading downstairs with like drum hardware and that stuff. And the
Right.
venue was playing Bob Marley while we were loading in, and I was like, you know what? This actually makes this better.
Music life's not all that
It's
bad.
not that bad. Like you go upstairs and you're on the street and it's terrible, and then once you enter the venue and you're like, wow.
Right.
we're
Bob's got a way of
okay.
putting all your mind at ease. Even if you're on your back porch just for a minute, it's very
Put you at ease.
sedating. Yeah, put you at ease.
Huh.
I don't not really sedating, but yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are totally out of time. I hope that wasn't too bad. I know we kind of went everywhere, but that's what makes it fun.
Oh, that was
Thank
great.
you so much.